Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So this pick a card reading is what you are not seeing about your current situation. We have 3 groups to select from. Group number 1, shark. Group number 2, lamb. Group number 3, moth. Pause the video if you have to see which group you're resonating with. Timestamps are always in the description box below. Let's get into the reading. Hello, group number 1. You guys selected the shark energy, and this is what you are not seeing about your current situation. What you're not seeing about the current situation. So immediately when I picked up the shark energy and I placed it in the center to get into your reading, the first thought that came to mind was greed. And that's interesting because I've never felt or think that way before looking at the shark. But that's what I'm getting. It's like what you're not seeing about the situation is greed or control and how that might be a dominating factor. When I say greed or control, what I'm seeing is like a person who wants to achieve certain things or make certain things happen. And control might be a big part. Or I think about the person who keeps getting into it with their partner. And it's like they might feel justified as to why they want their partner to do whatever they say they want them to do. But I feel like control is a factor here where it's almost like it's like a person being treated like property. And that's like a big reason for some of the issues that's happening. I'm getting the feeling of like someone feeling like it's the other person's fault to kind of make them feel secure in a relationship. And that's like red flags all around based on what is being presented to me. It's red flags all around because number 1, I feel like even if it's red flags overall because I feel like one person is leaving the other person responsible for their happiness. And I just don't see how that will end well. I'm also getting the feeling of like emotional blackmail, manipulation. It's like one person, it's like say 2 people are a part of a relationship or something and one person may have made a mistake or done something wrong, or maybe one person is just always apologetic. It's like they're always saying sorry just because. It's like a nervous reaction. Something's always their fault, even when it isn't, because maybe growing up in their household, it's like things were always their fault. So I'm thinking of 2 people in some kind of a connection where like this could be you in a relationship setting, friendship setting, or some kind of connection with another. And I just get the feeling of someone keep apologizing. And it's like, what are you apologizing for? Or if you're not coming straight out and saying sorry, it's like feeling like, damn, this is my fault. When am I going to stop messing up? When am I going to stop getting this wrong? And like, if you really observe yourself, how you're feeling and what you're saying to yourself, it might take you back to childhood where as a child, you've had similar run-ins like that, where it's like, it was always your fault. It was always your fault. So you might be dealing with a situation that's mirroring childhood, and it's helping you to see the dynamics of your, the dynamic of your childhood, something that you've overlooked. You'll be surprised with a lot of people. We overlook certain things about our childhood and our experiences because we want things to be perfect, because if certain things happen, it would say that we're broken, or things weren't that great for us, and that says something about us. When it says absolutely nothing about us, it was just an experience. But I'm saying all that to say, like, in a lot of situations we have to be honest and acknowledge a lot of what we experience in order to get past it, in order to understand it and put it behind us. But like acting like certain things didn't happen is not benefiting anyone. But with the greed situation now that I'm just getting like fear, like survival and fear being a factor when it comes to this group. So what you might not be seeing about your current situation is how fear has gotten the best of you. So if this is a relationship dynamic, maybe fear of losing the other person or fear of being rejected or something can have certain people like kind of acting out of character is what I'm seeing. When I say acting out of character, I mean, I guess if we're doing it, it is our character, but just going against how we would want to present ourselves or how we would want to be. And I'm getting the feeling as if it's like, I can't help it. It's that kind of vibe. It's like, I can't help how I'm showing up. I can't help how I'm doing things. I'm just afraid. Like, I'm afraid that like, I won't get enough. I won't get my share. I won't get enough. I won't get my share, or I'm afraid I'll be disrespected or something. But I just get the feeling of emotions playing a big factor here, and fear, emotions and fear playing a big factor. And earlier I mentioned greed, but let's get into it, because for some people, when it comes to say a work situation or dealing with finances, I'm getting greed. Greed might be a thing, or control, but it's like not enough is like the feeling that I'm getting, like not enough. And when it comes to say the overall message, we have the 5 of Wands in the reversal position. So in the upright position, the 5 of Wands talks about passion. It shows all these people who are so passionate about their idea, where it's like me first, mine's is the best, because I think of like the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is like the beginning of, it's like that spark of inspiration, and everybody has their one wand in the air. So everybody has this spark of inspiration. Everybody is ready to be first. Everybody has, what they feel like, or all these people have what they feel like is needed. So it's like, come check out what I got going, hear me first type of vibe. But in the reversal position, I'm getting the feeling of like not enough competition or not enough motivation. And not enough competition or motivation. Competition could be beneficial in the sense that it could be a point of reference when it comes to us observing ourselves to see how fast we're growing, or how much we're growing, or how much we're getting stronger when it comes to a thing. But in the reversal position, I just get the feeling of like, something feeling fizzled out, something feeling like something not carrying a spark, not having a spark, not being exciting enough is what I'm getting. When it comes to this group, I feel like of course, this is a general message to so many people. So of course, take what applies and leave behind what doesn't. But when it comes to say this shark group, I'm just getting mixed emotions and emotions all over the place. I'm also getting the feeling of like liking drama. This is so weird. And the feeling of liking drama in the sense that like, I think of like the person who, it's like when you give them too much attention, it's like they don't want to be bothered with you. And when you kind of distance yourself, like that's when they remember and want to play with you, or I'm play with you like a kid, like, it's like that's when they remember and they want to engage type of vibe is what I'm getting with this energy here. Like maybe the feeling of playing games. So say for some of you might be in a relationship, or maybe, you're part of some kind of a connection with another person. And I'm getting the feeling of like not knowing where you stand, because I'm getting the hot and cold feeling where it's like 1 minute, it goes back to like what I said earlier with the shark energy, and it's just hands down control. Hands down control. Like control is a factor here. For whoever you guys are dealing with, or maybe you guys are the ones in control. So what you're not seeing about your current situation is control. So whatever confusion is happening, control is the reason for it. If there's communication happening and there's confusion in the communication, I always tell myself like, If I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm trying to get to the bottom of something, and I find myself constantly confused and keep going around in circles speaking to them and confused and not knowing why, it's because I'm dealing with a manipulator. Someone's holding information back or playing with it. And when it comes to this group, I get you're dealing with someone who is so used to or who has a fragile ego, or needs to feel like people are like treating them like, needs to feel like they're getting some kind of special treatment or something. So when it comes to this energy with this person, I feel it's almost like I don't know where I stand type of vibe, where it's like 1 minute things are going good, and then the next minute it's like, maybe a person feels like they're being ignored or whatnot. When it comes to challenges, we have the Judgment card here. So when it comes to challenges, I'm feeling like when it comes to this connection, there's no trust. It's like based on past experiences, you feel like you can't trust this person or trust this situation. And when it comes to say what's unexpected, we have the Page of Cups. So this here is reminding me of what they would call like a narcissistic and a codependent dance. And that might not be the case for everyone. And the reason why I'm getting that is because, like I started out saying, I'm getting control is a big thing here. Control or greed. But it's like fear is a factor, a manipulating factor here. And with this energy, I get like, someone who wants to feel like you're fighting for their attention, or you're earning it, or you're doing different things to kind of like, feel like they're like they matter type of vibe. With the Judgment in the challenging position, it's like a hard time trusting, whether it's them having a hard time trusting or you having a hard time trusting, but trust is an issue here. But with the Page of Cups, I get like someone constantly manifesting either how they feel, or just, it's like emotions. There's something about emotions. Like this brings me to like the poet, the person that's romantic, the person that is just so like easy to, it's like, it feels mushy, but at the same time, like this could be you, or maybe this could be like the other person, where it's like 1 minute, 1 minute they're ignoring you and you're confused, you don't know where you stand. And then the next minute they're saying kind things, and then you feel guilty for feeling how you felt earlier. This right here just feels like a lot, you guys. It feels like a lot. And when it comes to the blessings, we have the Knight of Cups in the reversal position. And I feel like the Knight of Cups in the reversal position as blessings brings me to that whole saying, rejection is the creator's protection. If ever you find yourself in any situation dealing with anyone where you find yourself confused, it's best for you to kind of like take a few steps back. We have the bear as the spirit animal moving forward. And with the bear being the spirit animal moving forward, the bear brings me to say, like, when I think about the bear energy, I think about hibernation. But when I'm looking at the bear is moving forward. So with the bear energy, I'm getting the importance of moving forward and finding your right tribe, finding your right group, finding the right people that is in alignment with you. Because when it comes to this group, to me, this dynamic could be with anyone, but there's just a power struggle that I'm getting. So what you're not seeing about your current situation is that there's a power struggle happening. And some people might find themselves on one side being spiteful for the sake of it. And when it comes to what's happening, to me, the way how to make the most of the situation, or the way how to come out on top, is to stop engaging. It's like, engage as much as you have to, but pay attention to yourself and make sure you don't find yourself playing the petty patty games. You don't find yourself being petty or engaging in any way. It's like, to me, you got to stop creating a resistance. Stop creating a resistance, because the more you create a resistance, the more there's reason for you and this person to engage, to keep this dance going. Where it's like, if you surrender and don't engage them, it's like, to me, they'll be forced to kind of move on. Because when it comes to some of you in this group, I get the feeling that it's like you might not be able to easily move on the way you would like. So it would be best for the person to get bored of you and move on, because that feels safer for whatever reason. So to, help them to get bored of you is to become boring and stop engaging. So being boring and stop engaging for me would, pay attention to ways how you might do things to get their attention, or not just, or for them to like you or to be nice or whatever. It's like, stop doing those things and kind of like conserving your energy, but paying attention to how you might find yourself getting wild up or feeling some type of way based on their actions, and learning and working on detaching is what I'm getting. Wow, group number 1, this is an interesting read. I would love to know how you resonate. If you do, if you'd like to book a reading with me or check out my exclusive weekly pick a card readings only on Patreon, the links for that is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a red heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello, group number 2. You guys selected the Lamb energy, and this is what you're not seeing about your current situation. I don't know why I feel a bunch of mixed emotions as I look at the cute little lamb. It's like there's a part of me that feels, oh, poor little lamb, and it's another part of me that's like, okay, cut it out. How long are you gonna keep like deceiving yourself like this? I don't know, like I'm getting mixed feelings, but it's like more than anything, or let me just be honest, like there's a part of me that like sympathize with the lamb, because the lamb looks so cute and poor thing type of vibe. And then there's another part of me that's like, I guess because growing up I feel like I didn't have like the whole babying situation happening, so maybe that's why I don't know how to do it. But I'm like, cut the ish and get moving type of vibe. I feel like what you're not seeing when it comes to your current situation or what's happening, what you're not seeing is how you are getting in your own way. What you're not seeing is how your emotions is getting the best of you. What you're not seeing is that like you've come to a point on your journey where it is now up to you to get yourself to the next point where you have to go. Like what I mean by that is I think about the person who has been on a journey, and up to some point of the journey there were some guides and assistants, coming from different people or different things coming in different ways. And with the lamb energy, it brings me to say like being brought to a point, and it's like, okay, what do I do next? Who's here to meet me, help me, whatnot? And it's like, panicking and freaking out. And it's like, but you could do this. You got this. Like, you got this. You can do this. I don't know why I'm seeing cereal. Like maybe someone here is a huge cereal fan, a huge cereal head, love eating cereal, but there's something about cereal. I don't know why that was a thing, but yeah, that's something. But I imagine the thought of like how cereal for me could be a comfort food, and it's almost like someone sitting back in their PJs just eating cereal. Like at some point, when you get full, you stop eating and you got to start living. You got to move forward. Like I just get the feeling of someone wanting to hide themselves away from the world and kind of like, hide themselves from the world and lick their wounds. And it's like at some point, like you got to start licking and start living. Like you got to get up out of this. With the lamb energy, and what you're not seeing is how important it is for us to not allow ourselves to stay down long whenever we get down. It's like, yes, take the time you need to recoup, to re-energize, to add nutrients to your body, to get yourself well. And then you want to get back out there. That's important, because with this group, I feel like what you're not seeing is how easy it could be to sink down into a space where it's like, the more you sink, the harder it is to climb back up out of it. And when it comes to this group, it's like, yes, you've been through a lot. Like when I look at the lamb kind of looks traumatized, where it's like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know where else to go. But honestly, like you guys are being hella dramatic. And I'm speaking to myself when I'm saying that, because I'm looking at the lamb and it's just reminding me of a headspace that I have been in myself too. And it's like when I really pull out the book and the pencil and I get to the root of it, it's like things aren't that bad. Like they're not even bad at all. But for whatever reason, like I'm being hella dramatic because like I feel like I could be a spoiled brat because, you know, my father is the creator, is the king of all kings. So I expect to have everything and I want it right now. And it's like, even though my father is the creator and the king of all kings, I still have to wait. And it's like, I don't want to wait. And it's like, okay, it's either you're going to fuss and cry and spiral yourself into a space of depression or whatever, or you're going to learn that like waiting is a part of life and get your ass up and get out there and live life. And that's what I'm getting for this group. It's like what you're not seeing is that like it's important for you to get up and get out there. When it comes to say overall message, we have the temperance in the reversal position. So with the temperance in the reversal position, it's bringing me to say a lack of balance. So a lack of balance in the sense that maybe when it comes to this group, there's a whole lot of planning. I don't know why crying was a thing, but there's a whole lot of planning or a whole lot of feeling some type of way about certain things, but action is necessary. It's like, what's your plan to changing your situation? And what steps have you taken or are you taking, and when will you take your steps? So it's not just planning out your situation and moving towards the situation, but planning out the steps that you're taking, you know, towards resolving your situation. What I'm getting with this group is like, it's like pay attention to how you might be allowing yourself to fall into a space where it would almost seem like you're waiting for someone to come and rescue you, is what I'm getting. And yeah, that's what I got. When it comes to say challenges, we have the Empress energy in the reversal position. So for some people, it might be fertility, might be the challenge. The sadness might be that, you know, you can't get pregnant, or maybe there was some kind of a miscarriage or something when it comes to pregnancy. But that could be a small few. For others, the Empress energy in the reversal position might feel like you can't give birth to anything. Like no matter what you say, like what you say you want, you hear all these people talk about law of attraction and manifestation and bullshit, because it's like, I want it. Why does it not happen for me? And it's like, you say you want it, but there's a bigger part of you that believes that that's not possible for you. So it's like, you say you want it, you consciously say, yes, I want it. You consciously look at it and imagine yourself having it, but deep down, do you believe it's possible? And I feel like that's what needs to be addressed, and that's the reason for the Empress showing up in the reversal position. Because deep down, it's like whenever we find ourselves in the kind of mindset where it's like, it's everyone else's fault why things are happening. If things are because of other people's fault and not our own, then that means we have to wait for other people to come and fix it. And if we have to wait for other people to come and fix our lives, then we have to wait for them to also manifest into our lives also. So it's like everything depends on everybody else. And when it comes to this group, I get that feeling with the Empress in the reversal position, where the challenges is like not being able to give birth to anything, because the challenge is needing to own. I'm getting the feeling of like, what can you do to take the wheel of your life, in the sense that when I say take the wheel of your life, meaning being clear about your intentions as far as what you want for yourself next, and then coming up with practical steps to go after it, and like getting up and going after it, getting out of your PJs, you know, and stop eating cereal every day. Of course, that's probably like one person, but getting out of your PJs and stop eating cereal and binging YouTube or reality shows or whatever, and start taking step by step, whether it's going for walks or exercise or things like that. But like group number 2, like don't beat yourself up. Whatever this is, I feel like this is something that was like strong within the air. Like I feel like the last week of June 2023 was a little bit rough. It's almost like there was something in the energy field that like it caught me off guard too. And I feel like it hit me most when the moon went into Scorpio at some point in the last week, probably the 29th or 8th or something of June. And it kind of got me off guard. And it's like, I'm aware of the energies, but it's like sometimes I guess like not as aware as I think, because it's like, even though I'm aware of it, like based on all that's going on, it might hit totally different than how it hits other times. When it comes to, so if you guys are going through your moment, like, don't let me speak ish to you and make you feel bad, but at the same time, don't, at the end of the day, like, I stand by everything I say, and more than anything, you know, what I'm trying to say, if it hasn't been clear, is that you don't want to allow yourself to feel sorry for long or stay down for long. When it comes to unexpected, I'm glad this card came out, because look at what I've been saying. Like, you don't want to be feeling sorry for yourself and all this other stuff. And to me, that's what this person looks like they're doing. They're playing a pity party to the point that they're ungrateful. But in the reversal position, unexpected is that you're falling up out of that mindset. You don't want that to control and dominate your life anymore. And with the Hierophant card showing up as blessings in the reversal position, I'm getting the feeling of, and the Tower card fell out in the reversal position. Normally, stuff don't fall out like that, and I'll probably dismiss it, but I feel like I needed to incorporate it. And with the Tower in the reversal position, I get the feeling of, like, you know, hanging on to something, opposed to just like realizing that something has done its time and it's time, you know, time to move on. With the Hierophant in the blessing position, along with the Tarot in reverse, to me, the blessing that you're not seeing when it comes to your current situation is how you're learning to be stronger spiritually and even more independent. You're learning to be you're learning to be stronger. You're igniting and becoming aware of certain parts of yourself that you didn't know or think would be possible. And when it comes to the spirit animal moving forward, we have the earthworm energy. And to me, the earthworm energy is to ground yourself. Ground yourself in the moment, meaning like become aware of where you are right now in your life and what you want next for yourself. But it's like you have to ground yourself, because with this group, I get the feeling it's like feeling in the air. It's like feeling in the air, feeling so detached. And you got to ground yourself, because the detached feeling, it's almost like life is happening around you, or it's like you've taken a back seat in your own life and you're watching certain things play out, and it's like you want to get a grip on things, and it just feels like it's just moving. It's almost like it's moving without your control, or even you are operating out of your own control. It's like, I feel like it's like being in a daze. Like I think of, like, say a person going into like a being sad for a little bit, and from being in that sad daze, it's like just going through the motions. And I feel like when it comes to this group, it's like what you're not seeing is that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. A storm quickly flowed over you, and this too shall pass. Group number 2, I would love to know how you resonate with, if you do. If you'd like to book a reading with me or check out the exclusive weekly pick a card readings only on Patreon, the links for reading or Patreon are both in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a orange heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello, group number 3. You guys selected the moth energy. And when it comes to the moth energy, what you guys are not seeing about your current situation, my attention keeps going to the color green. And when I go to the color green, I think about the heart chakra. And when it comes to say what you're not seeing about the current situation is how much your heart is not in it, how much you're probably detached from it and kind of going through the motions. And because of the detachment, because you're going through the moment, that's the reason for the why things are the way how they are at the moment. I think about those of us who are working on certain things in our lives, but we found ourselves come to a place where it's like things feel a little bit stagnant. But not only do things feel a bit stagnant, it's like, you know, some of us felt like we've lost our way. And to me, it's because it's like there's this disconnect. There's this disconnect, and the heart is not in it. So because the heart is not in it, it's like everything feels robotic, everything feels bland, and it's important for us to, find our way back to the point that like we're so passionate about what it is that we're trying to create. We're so passionate about what it is that we're trying to do, to where we get up and we're looking forward to, the process, or looking forward to the outcome of what it is that we're trying to manifest and create in our lives. Like I think about like, adulting and getting older, and how in the adulting process, it's like instead of going after the thing that we're so passionate about, we go after the thing that pays the bills. And after a while, every day getting up and, participating in that, it's like life starts to feel like you're getting up and eating the same food over and over and over and over again. And from that feeling, it's almost like, needing an escape, needing to try or experience something else for the sake of experiencing something else. And what I'm getting with the moth energy is like that will keep happening, if we're not coming from the heart when it comes to whatever it is that we're doing, and how we have to continue to check in with ourselves along our journey to make sure we're always improving and updating whatever it is that we're doing, and coming from a place of love, coming from a place of passion, coming from a place of purpose. So when it comes to say what you are not seeing, I'm going to be selecting 4 cards, and the 4 cards are going to help me to get deeper into the reading. The first card deals with overall energy. And when it comes to overall energy, we have the 3 of Wands in the reversal position. In the upright position, this person is clearly waiting for, their ships to come in. In the reversal position, this is bringing me to say some of you guys need goals. Some of us, some of you need goals. And I found myself going through this the other day, where it's like I was having a conversation with some people on Patreon, and I was asking them, along with asking some of the people that I was doing readings and sessions with, like, how can I improve and add value to the channel? And I was asking because it's like I felt like I needed to redefine something. I felt like I need to do some of the work that I'm mentioning here, because it felt like that fire. It felt like that fire was missing, type of vibe. And with this energy here, overall, like, you guys don't realize that it's like you need to have something to look forward to. And there's something about the path that you're on right now and where you are when it comes to what it is that you're doing. It's like life feels dull. Things feel dull. It feels like there isn't enough to look forward to. And that's a problem. And I feel like because the heart isn't in it, it's like, imagine the feeling of knowing you're going somewhere. And it's funny, challenges, going somewhere, the Page of Wands is what's in the challenge position. So the challenge is going somewhere, trying to get through this door, turning a new page is a challenge. And to me, Wand energy deals with fire. It's like that passion, that motivation. And that's an issue, that's a challenge. But unexpected, we have the Knight of Cups in the reversal position. So unexpected for me, with the Knight of Cups in the reversal position, it brings me to say, it brings me to, I feel like the feeling of feeling a little bit confused, where it's like, I want this, but I'm not sure if I want it. I wanted it before, but I'm not sure that I want it now. And that's what I'm getting when it comes to this group. It's like just a lack of clarity. But I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to this group, I feel like people only feel like this when they have options, honestly. And you might not feel like you have options, but honestly, I feel like your issue is that you do have options. Because I feel like people who don't have options, they focus on what it is that they're doing, and they're not distracted with the possibility of anything else. They're not distracted with the possibility of anything else because they're focusing on the only thing that they think is possible. So sometimes the issue with options is that, growing up, they used to say you're going to pick and pick until you pick shit. So it's like you're going to keep picking and picking and picking until you end up in a bad situation. And I feel like when it comes to me learning how to trade, if anything, that's what trading has taught me, where it's like 1 minute you're in a position and it's like, okay, boom, you should probably get out of your contract and walk with your profit because the market moved your way. And it's like, you're like, no, I'm gonna wait, maybe better will come. And then it just keeps going against you, against you, against you, against you. So you started out first in profit really well. And then you end up closing out the trade in the negative because you kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and boom, there you go. So with this group, I get, the feeling of it's like time is going. But at the same time too, with this group, like y'all have to like really question and make sure that you're not beating yourself up to want something you really don't want. Because I find that I come across a lot of people, and I've also been this person, trying to convince myself to want a certain path because it would sound good, it would look good, it would make me worthy. When in all reality, like that's not what I truly wanted for myself. So I feel like when it comes to some of you guys who selected this path, some of you might want to see certain things for yourself, and you don't realize that you want the idea of it sounds good, but in all reality, like that's not in alignment with your truth and who you are. Like the idea of making that happen is just not realistic to you. It's not realistic for you and who you are and what matters to you, what's important to you, what drives you, what gets you up every day, what gets you going. So when it comes to this group, I'm getting that you need to revisit yourself, revisit to see like, what are you so passionate about? And also too, like I'm realizing too that it's okay to realize that like, at the moment, maybe you're not that passionate about certain things. Because I was asking myself a question the other day where I was asking myself, like, what if death was a part of tomorrow? What would I be doing today? And honestly, like, I couldn't imagine myself doing anything different than what I've already been doing. And I guess that brings me back to like the thought, like, of me running similar questions like that by myself, running similar questions like that, running them by myself to get to the root of what could I see myself doing every day if money wasn't an issue. And when I run those questions by myself, like I came up with the lifestyle that I'm living now, and you guys would be so surprised if like money wasn't in the equation, meaning that you didn't have to work for money anymore. You'll be surprised how your life would probably not be that much different from how it is now, but you would be doing more of the things you enjoy. You'd be doing more of the things you enjoy, spending on the things you like, and probably just wouldn't be doing anything that you don't enjoy, and that's what would be the difference. But like, yeah, when I ran the question by myself, what would today look like, or what would this month look like if, death was a part of the next or whatever? And it's like, just chill. So for some of us, maybe, we're pretty chilled, and that's okay. You got to be okay with that. When it comes to, say, blessings, we have the Four of Wands in the upright position. So when it's all said and done, like, stability is a big thing in your life, where you guys are pretty stable or content in ways. And maybe because of how we were conditioned, it's like it's in your nature to find why there's a fault or something wrong with what you're doing or how you're living, when in all reality, like things might be content for you. Because I look at how we started out with overall the issue is not having anything to look forward to. And when it comes to, say, challenges, feeling stuck when it comes to turning a page, having new experiences, new endeavors. When it comes to unexpected, the Knight of Cups, one going back and forth on their passions, what they're into, what touches their heart. And when it comes to blessings, we have the Four of Wands in the upright position. So it's like when it's all said and done, everything that you're going through, it helps you to understand yourself better. It helps you to figure out what is it that you want and not what others want you to want. When it comes to, say, the spirit animal moving forward, we have the Scorpion. And with the Scorpion being the spirit animal moving forward, the Scorpion energy brings me to, make sure your next move is your best move. And I feel like that's important because when it comes to group number 3, a lot of you guys in this group played your cards right. when it comes to making certain decisions. And from playing your cards right when it comes to making certain decisions, it'll be natural for you to come to positions when you're bored or people not being able to relate because you don't have a bunch of drama or issues or challenges. And there's nothing wrong with that. But with a lot of you, I get the feeling that you're in a sweet spot, whether you can see that or not, whether you're aware of it or not. You're in a sweet spot. And as you move forward, you want to be very diligent, if that's how you say it. You want to be diligent and careful because, you know, you guys are in a really good position and it could only get better. So it's like you want to make sure your next move is your best move, group number 3. I would love to know how you resonate with this message. If you do, if you'd like to book a reading with me or check out my weekly exclusive pick a card readings only on Patreon, the links to book a reading or check out my Patreon are both in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a yellow heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.